confirm to me. All of you got my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you got my voice on screen. Those who are attending in online. Is my voice on screen is clear to all of you guys? Good evening, guys. All right, sir. And so understand the content what we completed there. So I think so we are discussing about JDBC. In JDBC drivers information here we are discussing there. In driver content also we completed type 1 driver related content here we completed. Okay, type 1 driver. So we understood. Then again here we are going to have some discussion here. Now try to understand it. First of all, now tell me in JDBC what exactly the work is going on. We will prepare a Java program. In the Java program we will provide database logic as per Java representations. The Java represented database logic, if we send it to the databases, no, database engine has to execute that. Database engine has to perform database operation, and database engine has to identify the results, and database engine has to send the results back to the Java application. This is actually the work which is going on in JDBC. But here the problem is what? We provided database logic in a Java program as per Java representations. And if we send the Java represented database logic to the database, no, their database engine is unable to execute it. Why? Because the database logic is available as per Java representations. But database engine require the database logic in what their query languages representation. So in this particular situation, our program is not going to be executed due to the communication gap. In this particular scenario, to execute our program, we require a translator in between Java application and database to map Java API calls to the database API calls and database API calls to the Java API calls. So where some mediator we require, that mediator is called as what there? A driver. So driver is an interface existed in between Java application and database. It able to map Java API calls to the database API calls and database API calls to the Java API calls. Good. But how this driver is available in outside market? To provide this driver, Sun Microsystems has given an interface in the form of java.sql.driver, and Sun Microsystems has given an option to all the database vendors to provide their own implementation classes for the driver. There, but understand my point clearly. Okay, then after completion of this, as per this particular notation, almost all the database vendors have provided their own drivers. In general, for every database, a separate driver is existed, but all these drivers are divided into the 5 types. What are the 5 types here? We are going to understand: type 1 driver, type 2 driver, type 3, type 4, and a type 5 drivers. Type 5 driver we are going to understand in the future, not immediately, not required even. Okay, 4 types of drivers description we are going to understand. That type 5 driver full implementation is not available in outside even to understand the content. Just one category is available. There is a company like Data Direct. That company has given some implementation up to, that is partial implementation only, not 100% implementation. It is not in utilization mode also. In our entire enterprise applications, everywhere we are using what driver here? Type 4 driver. Okay, fine. Right, anyway, then we had some description about like what their type 1 driver. What exactly the description about the type 1 driver? Type 1 driver is also called JDBC, ODBC driver or bridge driver. Type 1 driver was provided by Sun Microsystems in the form of a class. What is that class actually? Sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc ODBC driver. Observe carefully. After completion of this, another thing is like what there. Sun Microsystems has provided Type 1 driver as a model implementation or a showcase for all the database vendors to provide their own drivers, to prepare their own drivers. Sun Microsystems has provided a model implementation. Right, sir. Sun Microsystems has provided Type 1 driver with the interdependent on the Microsoft product ODBC driver. Then what is this ODBC driver? ODBC driver is a product provided by Microsoft and it is able to connect with any type of database from JDBC ODBC driver. If you want to use Type 1 driver in JDBC applications, then we must install the Microsoft product ODBC driver in our system. The Microsoft product ODBC driver is very good compatible with the Microsoft products like Windows operating system. So Type 1 driver is very compatible with the Microsoft products only. So Type 1 driver is a less portable driver. Type 1 driver requires two conversions to connect with the databases. So Type 1 driver is a slower driver. What are the two conversions you know? First one is Java to ODBC. Next one is what there? ODBC to database representations. Type 1 driver will reduce JDBC applications performance. Type 1 driver is not suggestible for the server-side applications. It is suggestible for the standalone applications only. Type 1 driver is a showcase or model implementation. It is not suggestible for the complex JDBC applications. Type 1 driver class sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc driver. JDBC ODBC driver was managed by Java up to its JDK 1.7 version. Type 1 driver did not existed from JDK 1.8 version onwards. Is it got or not? It was available up to what there? JDK 1.7, not available from what there? JDK 1.8 version onwards. If we use sun.jdbc.odbc.jdbc ODBC driver, that is Type 1 driver in Java 8 version. If we use the driver in Java 8 version, there we are able to get a class not found exception. There we are able to get what exception there? No, class not found exception there we are able to get. Right, sir. Now here we are getting right the driver implementation here, the total conversation here we provided clearly. So if you observe this one, when we execute our Java program, first Java representations are converted to ODBC representations. Later on ODBC representations are converted to database representation. Database engine will execute them. Next, the results are generated in what their database representations. The database representations are converted to what their ODBC representations. ODBC representations are later converted to what their Java representations. Right, so now these are the points here we have to understand clearly. All right, now this is about like what the Type 1 driver. Already we completed there clearly. Next one is what there after this Type 2 driver. What next one here? Type 2 driver. Observe carefully. Few points about this Type 2 driver. Understand this now. All right, sir. Type 2 driver is also called part Java, part native driver. Okay. Part Java and part native driver, or simply native driver, or simply what their native driver. This is the point here we have to understand. This is about Type 2. Why? Because Type 2 driver was implemented. Type 2 driver was implemented by using Java implementations and the database vendor provided native implementations or native library. Native implementations. Point is very much clear. Type 2 driver is also called part Java, part native driver, or simply native driver. Why? Because Type 2 driver was implemented by using Java implementations and the database vendor provided native implementations. Here the point is what? Let me show the diagram. Okay, now try to understand this diagram now. Now again, we want to take like what their database now. Okay, this is Java application and this is database. Now in between these two here we are having driver. This is like what I am telling here, JDBC driver. Type 2 driver, of course. Now this driver required database vendor provided native library. Database vendor provided native library. On the basis of that only this driver is going to be executed. Now see this one, when we execute this application, directly I'm writing the content here. No JVM, no database engine. By default, you can understand they're available. So at Java side, JVM is available. At database side, database engine is available. Every time I'm not going to represent that. We can assume it. By default, they're available. Actually, the conversion is going on between JVM and database engine only. The conversions are required for these two only. But in general, we are able to say Java program and database. Java program in the sense JVM. Database in the sense database engine. Okay. All right. Then when we execute our program, Java representations are provided to JDBC driver. JDBC driver will convert them directly into the database representations. The database representations are given to database. Database engine will execute the database representations finally and able to perform some operation. After performing some operation, all the results are generated in like what their database representations. The database represented results are given to JDBC driver. Now JDBC driver is able to convert these representations to like what their Java representations. These things are converted to like what their Java representations. Right or not? Now see this one, 2 times conversion is not available. Direct conversion from Java to database and database to Java. Understand here? When compared with what their type 1 driver, this driver will take lesser transformation time or not? Lesser time or not? Less execution time or not? Means that it will improve performance of the JDBC applications or not? It can be used for commercial purpose or not? That means for the business complex JDBC applications or not? But still it is not suitable. Still it is not suitable for which applications there? Web applications, server side applications. Why it is not suitable? That is depending on what their database vendor native library. Simple example. If we take an enterprise application, client is one machine, application server is at another machine, database server is available at other machine. Don't expect it that database server is also available in the same application server. 3 machines I am telling there. One is what their client, next one is what their application server, next one is what their database. For example, in my application, if I use type 2 driver, what type 2 driver is required? No, database vendor provided native library. But how it is possible to get this database vendor native library in our server application, no? In our server machine here? It is not database server, that is only application server. But the database vendor provided native library is available at database side only. Sir, got or not? Now tell me, is it suitable for server side applications? No. No, still it is not suitable for what their server side applications. In general, understand my point clearly. It is not at all suitable for what their server side applications. Right. Moreover, so it can be used for serious JDBC application for commercial purpose, for a production point of view. We can use what there this particular driver. But unfortunately, the problem is what there. It is a costful driver. It is not economical driver. It is a costful driver. Why it is a costful driver now? Because of this database vendor provided native library. That we are not going to get with the free of cost. There we have to take licenses. When we take Oracle license, then only we are able to get the database vendor provided native library. In general, if you want to use that, it's a costful, it's a cost related. So because of that reason, nobody will prefer to use this particular driver. And if you're getting it or not, they are available along with our databases only. Of course, these things are not available in the trial version of the databases. No, they will come along with the databases when we have taken licenses only in general. So it is not going to be utilized in our content. That's clear. So this is exactly the meaning of like what their type 2 driver, then what we are getting clearly now. Right, sir. Now let's see the punch. Guys, just can I give 1 minute of time? Continuously, I'm getting one call from home. Just give a minute of time. I'll come back. Guys, all of you there? Guys, all of you there? No, around the same point I said to you, right? No, then in general, we are not going to use like this. Databases, we are not going to maintain the same application server. Databases, we are going to provide in a different, right? Yeah, even if you provide that, then it's okay. Then we can use it. But in general, that content generalized statement is like this. Okay, fine. Right, sir. Let's come to the point here. So this is like what I'm telling to you, the type 2 driver. So some few points here are given about this type 2 driver. Here we understood that. All right, sir. Now understand the points here, what I've given there about this type 2 driver. First one is what the type 2 driver is also called part Java, part native driver, or simply native driver. Why? Because type 2 driver was implemented by using Java implementations and the database vendor provided native implementations. That is one thing here. Next one is after this, if we want to use type 2 driver, we must install the database vendors provided native library. All right, that we require, then only we are able to use this particular type 2 driver. This is extra headache for the developers. That's the point here. Next one is another one here apart from this. All right, type 2 driver is a more portable driver when compared with the type 1 driver. How, sir? How can you say this? No, type 2 driver is more portable driver when compared with the type 1 driver. Why? Because type 2 driver is not depending on the Microsoft product ODBC driver. That means it's not dependent on the operating system. Understand my point here? It is not dependent on what there, the Microsoft product ODBC driver. Simply it is dependent on only database. It is dependent on what there, database. Understand it clearly. Right. So this is one point here we can understand. Next one is after this, type 2 driver is a faster driver when compared with type 1 driver. Type 2 driver is what there, faster driver when compared with the type 1 driver. Why, sir? Why? Because what is the reason for it? No, why? Because type 2 driver doesn't require 2 times conversions. In the case of type 1 driver, what happened there? In the case of type 1 driver, we are converting, that means we are connecting with the database by having 2 times conversions. One is from Java to ODBC, next one is from ODBC to database representations. But here direct conversion is available, Java to database and database to Java. Direct conversions are available. That's why it's somewhat faster driver when compared with the type 1 driver. Next one is what there, type 2 driver is able to provide more performance when compared with type 1 driver. Type 2 driver is able to provide more performance when compared with what their type 1 driver. This is another point we have to understand now. Next one is type 2 driver is not economical driver. It's a costful driver. Observe carefully. Definitely here we have to take licenses from like what there, licenses from the database vendors. No, then only we are able to get the total. So it's not like what their economical driver. Next one is what there, type 2 driver is not suggestible for server side applications. Both type 1 driver and type 2 drivers are not suggestible for what their server side applications, like what their web applications and all the content here. So now these are the various points here we have to understand about this type 2 driver. Right, now this is completed, understand it clearly now. Right, sir. Now type 2 driver, okay, already given that all the points here. Now try to recognize this. These are the points about like what the type 2 driver here we understood. Next one is like what there, after this type 3 driver. Again I'm telling that just it is only overview of each and every driver, but in the future we are going to see all the content in practical there. When I'm going to start the first application in JDBC, there we are able to understand all the content here. But just time being I'm giving that overview of all the drivers here. Just theoretically we can understand, no, but their view practically we are going to see in the future. Okay, right, now let's come for this type 3 driver. Right, sir, observe carefully. Type 3 driver is also called middleware database server access driver. Middleware database server access driver. Middleware database server access driver are simply network driver. Are simply what their network driver. Understand it clearly. Why what is the meaning of it now? I'm giving clarity now, try to understand it. Type 3 driver is required. All right, before that, I'm telling you the point now, try to understand it. Type 1 and type 2 drivers, type 1 and type 2 drivers are supporting only which applications? No, type 1 and type 2 drivers are supporting only which applications? Can no, standalone applications. Not supporting which applications? No, network applications, web application, that means server side applications. No, type 1 and type 2 drivers are supporting only standalone applications, but type 3 driver is supporting, type 3 driver is exclusively for the sake of what they're supporting network applications, that is server side applications. That is which applications there? No, server side applications. Observe carefully. All right, son. That are server side applications. Now here itself I'm telling one more point here. Type 3 driver is also called as middleware database server access driver or simply network driver. All right, sir. It is required application server provided middleware component internally inside the application servers. Some middleware components are available to connect with the databases. No, with the help of that middleware components only, this network driver is able to perform that mapping between Java and the respective like what their databases can. So it should require what their middleware component which is provided by application server. Next, one more point I'm telling to you, observe carefully. If we want to use type 3 driver in JDBC applications, if we want to use type 3 driver in JDBC applications, then we must provide application server. We must provide application server environment. We must provide what their application server environment. If we want to use type 3 driver in JDBC applications, then we must provide an application server environment. Any application server we can use there. Maybe even including Tomcat also, no issues for it. Maybe including WebLogic also. WebLogic is a perfect one. Wildfly also we are able to use. That is also a perfect one. Glassfish also we can use there. Any of these application servers there we are able to use to connect with like what the databases from Java applications through type 3 driver. So definitely application servers environment is required. In the case if application server is not started, application server is not running, application server environment is not available, the type 3 driver will not work. Type 3 driver will not work here in this particular case. No, got or not? So this is one point here we can understand. But when compared with other cases, no, other factors, if you observe this, when compared with type 1 and type 2 drivers, it is faster driver. All right, sir. When compared with type 1 and type 2 drivers, it is a faster driver. It will improve JDBC applications performance. It will improve what their JDBC application performance here. And one more thing here I'm telling to you, how can you say it is a faster driver here? Then I will give some reasons also. It will improve performance of the application. Later I will provide this point here. Right, it is a faster driver. Why? Because it doesn't require 2 times conversions to interact with the database. It doesn't require 2 times conversions to interact with what their database, and it is not required to wait for the database native library loading. It is not required to wait for the database library, database native library loading. Understand it, what I'm telling there now. It doesn't require 2 times conversions. Understand my point here. And at the same time, it is not required to wait for loading the total database native library. Understand my point here. So because of that reason, the type 3 driver is like what there is a faster driver. All right, sir. Now, the next point I'm telling there, compared with, when compared with, or maybe type 3 driver will improve application performance when compared with type 1 and type 2 drivers. Type 2 driver. This is one point here. And one more advantage of this type 3 driver is, this is very good advantage. Now try to understand it. Type 3 driver, type 3 driver is able to provide, type 3 driver is able to provide very good environment, is able to provide very good environment to connect with the multiple databases. Observe carefully. It is able to provide very good environment to connect with the multiple databases from the multiple Java applications at a time. Multiple Java applications at a time. Understand my point here. It is able to provide very good environment. It is able to provide, type 3 driver is able to provide, 1 minute, is able to provide very good environment to connect with the multiple databases from the multiple Java applications at a time. But that depends on our configurations at our server, application server. If we do some configurations, no, at a time, we can connect with the multiple databases from multiple Java applications. There is a specialty with what there, type 3 driver. But altogether, finally, what is the dependency here I'm telling there? Type 1 driver is dependent on the Microsoft product ODBC driver. Type 2 driver is dependent on what their database vendor provided native libraries. But type 3 driver is provided, is dependent on what their application server. If application server is available, then only it able to perform its required functionalities. Now let's see this one. I want to prepare a diagram here, simple diagram now. All right, now all of you understand this clearly. For example, this is a Java application. This is like what their Java application, multiple Java applications I want to take. This is application 1. Similarly, I'm going to take multiple applications. Right, sir, application 2 and so on and so on and so on, application N. All right, now here we are having multiple databases also. This is one database. Here we are able to create multiple databases there. Here we created multiple databases. After creating multiple databases, now here we are able to have like what there, application server. This is application server. Inside this application server, now here we are having like what there, JDBC driver, and it will take the help from like what there, middleware component internally. It's internal component only. We are not going to think much about it. Simply here, this is like what the JDBC driver. So here we are having like what there, a middleware component. All right. This middleware component JDBC driver are having some communication there. Through that only it able to perform the required like what their connections get. Now first of all, what is going to be happen? Application 1 is going to connect with this JDBC ODBC driver. Application 2 is also be connected here. All right, application N is also be connected with JDBC driver. With the help of this middleware component, with the help of this middleware component, it able to connect with any type of database. but as per the configuration only. But application 1 is configured with the Oracle database, then it able to connect with the Oracle database. Application 2 is able to configure with the MySQL database, no, then it able to connect with what there MySQL database. That mapping, that internal, it able to manage that everything here. But finally, we can connect with the multiple databases from multiple Java applications at a time. That is possible in the case of like what there type 3 driver. Now here, for example, I want to take like what there. This is Oracle driver, and this is like what there MySQL driver, and this is like what there DB2 driver. Like this here we have taken databases now. Multiple databases, multiple applications, all are connected with multiple databases from multiple Java applications. So this is the main advantage of like what their application server. Right, sir. That's okay. Now this is somewhat information about like what they right type 3 driver information here we understood. That's okay, fine. Next one, after completion of this, all of you observe carefully. Type 4 driver. Type 4 driver. Everybody understand this clearly? I'm asking one question to you. Now try to answer for it. Type 1 comma type 2 drivers are suitable for which type of applications? No. Type 1 driver, type 2 drivers are suitable for standalone applications. Okay. Type 3 driver is suitable for which applications? No. That means which applications? No. Network application. That means server side applications, web applications, and distributed applications. Nice. But what's the point I'm telling there? But type 4 driver is suitable for type 4 driver is suitable for both the types of applications, both the types of applications like standalone applications and server side applications. This is a point here. Okay, now before this, one more point I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Type 4 driver is also called what is this driver here? No, pure Java driver is also called as what there pure Java driver or simply thin driver. Thin is a client actually. Then that information I'll talk later on when I'm going to talk about example here, type 4 driver utilization. But here we have to understand why, because type 4 driver was provided, was designed, was implemented on the basis of Java implementations only, on the basis of Java only, purely Java. Only Java was used to prepare this type 4 driver. That's why it is also be called as what there pure Java driver or simply thin driver. Why this thin driver is coming there, I will explain to you later on, but not immediately. Okay. Why? Because type 4 driver was implemented on the basis of what there Java implementations. Next one after that. Now tell me, type 1, type 2 drivers are suitable for standalone applications. Type 3 driver is suitable for server side applications, but type 4 driver is suitable for both the types of applications like standalone applications and server side applications. Now tell me guys, all of you now tell me. So type 4 driver is a more portable driver or not? Type 4 driver is more portable driver or not? In two ways we can say that portability. One is like what there, it is applicable for any type of application with or without the application server, or with or without the database dependent libraries, or with or without the ODBC dependency here. In all the cases, no, it is an individual driver. We can use this for any type of application development. So because of that reason, the type 4 driver is what there, it is like what, it's a portable driver, more portable driver when compared with the type 1 and type 2 drivers, type 3 drivers. Right, so this is one point. Next one is after completion of this, type 4 driver is a lightweight driver or is a faster driver when compared with type 1 comma type 2 and type 3 drivers. Type 4 driver is a faster driver when compared with type 1, type 2 and type 3 drivers. Observe carefully. Type 4 driver is a faster driver when compared with the type 1, type 2 and type 3 drivers. Why, sir? What are the reasons? No, any reason can know? Why? Because type 4 driver doesn't require what there? 2 times conversions. Type 4 driver doesn't require 2 times conversions, not required to wait until to load, not required to wait for loading database vendor native library, and not required to wait for starting application server. No, it is not at all dependent. It is not required to wait for starting what the application server. Directly we can utilize this. Understand it clearly now. This is one point. Next one is after this, after completion of this, type 4 driver is an economical driver, cheapest driver, doesn't require any license, does not require to take any licenses. No, as a cheapest driver we can get it. At the same time, it is a lightweight driver. Okay, type 4 driver is an economical driver. Understand it? No, and apart from this, more portable, faster driver, it will improve the performance of the applications in every section. If we take any sector, everywhere we can understand type 4 driver is giving advantages only when compared with like what their type 1, type 2 and type 3 drivers. Because of this reason only, it is a, that means type 4 driver is a frequently used driver in JDBC applications when compared with other drivers. Now type 4 driver is what there is a frequently used driver in JDBC application development. Not only here, nowadays might be, if you go for any enterprise application development, there also we have to use drivers. Now there the type 4 driver is acting as what there is a frequently used driver when compared with the other drivers clearly. Right, sir? All of you are getting my point or not? This is exactly the point here. We can understand points about like what there type 4 driver. Now let me prepare a simple diagrammatic representation here. Have I taken this diagram there? Yeah, it's okay, fine. Now observe carefully. So it's very simple diagram here, almost similar to type 2 driver only, but differences are available. Understand this. So Java application, now here we are able to have like what there, a database. No, and this is a database. Right, between these, here we are having a driver, JDBC driver. So direct conversions it able to provide from Java representations to directly database representations. Then after this, directly we are able to convert from results from database representations to Java representations. Even it doesn't require any native libraries also. It doesn't require any application server. Doesn't require like what there ODBC driver support. Without all, it able to perform mapping between Java applications to, that means Java to database and database to Java. So because of this reason here, we are using what there, this type 4 driver. This is the most frequently used driver in our enterprise applications. Right, sir. So this basic overview is sufficient just to understand what is what kind of information here now. Right, sir. Then before starting first JDBC application development, we need to have some awareness on all these concepts clearly. Right. So this is somewhat information about this one. Type 5 driver information I will discuss with in the future, not immediately. Right, type 5 driver implementations are not available effectively. Only one implementation is available nowadays, that is Data Direct company has given that implementations. No, when I'm going to use type 5 driver content, I will discuss about it in the future now. Right, sir. Now up to now, then what we completed here in our JDBC, what exactly the content here we completed here. If you observe this, prerequisite anyway completed, just leave this one. Some basics of core Java given. After that, database management systems, the topic we completed. After completion of this database management systems and all, next we have discussed about query processing system. how a particular SQL query is executed by database engine, that content we discussed. After completion of this, JDBC definitions are given. After that JDBC definitions, I have introduced the driver, requirement of the driver and the definition of the driver. After that, we understood that types of drivers. In a types of drivers, these many drivers here, we are having some overview. Sir, got it or not? Now, after completion of this particular content here, next one is like what there, steps to prepare first JDBC application. The next topic is like what there, steps to prepare first JDBC application. So these steps are somewhat important for us. Of course, then one or two steps are normal steps only, but whenever we are going to write the code, no, then definitely we have to put more concentration here. And one simple thing about JDBC is what there. One time, if you understand all the steps in a JDBC program, same steps we are going to use throughout our JDBC. Small changes only, little bit changes only. Overall 5 to 6 steps are available. Out of these 5 steps, no, only one step is going to be varied from topic to topic. All remaining steps are very common. So it means that if we complete first program in our system, you will not get any problem throughout our JDBC. Until the completion of JDBC, you will execute every program. But completing first program is the thing. Sir, if you're getting it on what I'm telling there, completing first application is a thing. But if you want to understand clearly that first application or whatever it may be in JDBC, if you want to understand clearly the content, no, the steps to prepare first JDBC application is very important. Is it all of you okay or not? Fine. Now let's understand the steps. No, first one, download and install database softwares. Database software, only one database, what we require. That's the first one here. But at present in our classes, what databases here I'm going to use? 2 databases I'm going to use right from first application onwards. So the first one is like what there, Oracle, and next one is like what there, MySQL. Both the databases. Before starting first application itself, I want to show how we are going to install both the databases. Because in some examples I'm going to use Oracle, in some other examples I'm going to use what there, MySQL. Why? Because all my JDBC features may not be supported in Oracle database. All my JDBC features may not be supported in MySQL. Some features are supported in Oracle, some other features are supported in what there, MySQL. So definitely, if you are doing examples with both the databases now, which feature is supporting an Oracle, that feature I will implement in Oracle. Which feature is supporting in MySQL, that feature I'm going to execute in what there, MySQL database. But anyway, we need to have awareness on both the databases. Sir, got it or not? Even no need to worry for it. Even if you don't know anything about this Oracle database or MySQL database, no need to worry for it. Up to how much knowledge is required for Oracle and for MySQL, up to that I will discuss inside the class. After that only we are moving towards like what there, the JDBC content can understand it now. So anyway, Oracle class are going on, you know already. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. morning, tomorrow at 10 o'clock morning. So Oracle class are starting now. Then try to attend for these Oracle classes if you are not yet started with Oracle. Tomorrow 10 o'clock morning. Sir, why sir? Not attending? Oracle class are required, right? Yeah. There's something you are saying there, right? Already attended. No? Okay, right. So, can I ask questions now? You completed already, right? Okay, fine. See, even for our JDBC content here at present, as part of this class there, as per our JDBC content, so too much knowledge of Oracle is also not required. Max Oracle basic SQL queries are required. Basic SQL queries. Then after that, PLSQL is required. In PLSQL, stored procedures and functions we required. In stored procedures and functions, cursor types we required. Up to that level I required. Up to that I'm able to use in JDBC. But of course, even that stored procedures and functions, before going to use them in JDBC, I'm going to give some description about the stored procedures and functions. After that only we are going to talk about what there, the stored procedures and functions inside our JDBC applications. Okay, anyway, now let's come for our content here. Download and install database software, Oracle and MySQL, both we are going to see. That is step number 1. All right, sir. Download and install Java software. What versions of Java software is required here? Some examples I'm going to show with Java 7 required. Why? Because I said to you, type 1 driver is supported in what version of the Java? Java 7 only, not even Java 8. That's why I required Java 7. Of course, all of you are having Java 7 in our systems. At very starting point of the core Java, I shown already how to install the Java software. Even this step is an optional for us. But anyway, just I'm giving list of content here. What we required, prerequisite to run our JDBC program. Download and install Java software. Java 7 is required. Then after this, the latest version of Java 17 is also required. No need to go for Java 20th version there. As of now, it's not required. Java 17 is okay. Up to Java 17. Java 17 we are able to use. Java 18, 19 and 20 also be not required. Moreover, with respect to the JDBC, no variations are going to be happen with the Java 17 or 18 or 20s. We are not going to see any differentiation with respect to JDBC. Of course, in core Java features point of view, some differences are available. Some new features are introduced in Java 20 or maybe 19 or 18 now. But in JDBC point of view, Java 17 is sufficient that we are going to understand clearly. Right, sir. Now this is required. Then after this, download and install IDEs. We are going to work with IDEs only. Even the first application onwards, I'm going to work with what there IDEs only. I think all of you are aware about two IDEs there. In core Java onwards, we are seeing the two IDEs. No, what are the two IDEs here? We need to understand there. First one is what there Eclipse, and next one is what there IntelliJ IDEA. IntelliJ IDEA. Both here we are going to use in our classes. Right. Then I think so almost all the steps are available in my system, but I want to show first one I want to show, but remaining two things here we have to understand. Even in the prerequisite part also I have not used like what their IDs part there. Definitely step by step I'm able to show these IDs also. No need to worry for it. Some of you are not aware about it. If you all of you are aware about it, directly I'll go and design with what their IDs part there. Okay, let us see this one. This is one thing here. Right. After completion of this, what next one here? Create a Java project, either of the ID, maybe Eclipse ID or maybe IntelliJ ID, whatever it may be. Create what there Java project. Create a Java project and provide JDBC application logic. JDBC application logic inside this Java project. Create a Java project. Okay, create a Java project and provide JDBC application logic in main class. There we have to take main class or not? Main class and main method. Okay. Now JDBC application logic here we have to provide. In JDBC application logic, nearly we are having 5 steps now. Actually, I'm giving that heading is what there steps to prepare first JDBC application. All these are infrastructure only. For JDBC application, all these are what there infrastructure only. But actual JDBC code we are going to write under the 4th step. So got or not? The actual JDBC code we are going to write under what there 4th step. Then what about this one? First one is what? Step number 1 is what? Load and understand clearly. Load and register driver. What is the step number 1 now? Tell me. Load and register driver. Interviewer may ask a question to you. Tell me what are the various steps you require to prepare JDBC program. Don't repeat these first 3 steps now. These are minimum. But from this point onwards, A, point B, like this I'm giving now, that points only we have to say. But for our completeness point of view, I have taken that first 3 steps now, for awareness purpose only. But actual steps here, we have to start from what there? Load and register the driver. Load and register the JDBC driver. Next one, point number 2. Establish the connection between Java application and database. Establish the connection between Java application and database. Clear. Next one. After that, create either statement or prepared statement or callable statement as per the requirement. Create either statement or prepared statement or callable statement as per the requirement. Right. Next one, step number 4. Write and execute SQL queries. Step number 4 is what there? Write and execute SQL queries. Next one is last step. Close the resources like connection, statement, and so on. That's it. Only 5 steps. Tell me guys, what is the step number 1? Load and register the JDBC driver. Step number 2, establish the connection between Java application and database. Then step number 3, create either statement or a prepared statement or a callable statement as per the requirement. Step number 4, write and execute SQL queries. Step number 5, close the resources like what there? Connection, statement, and so on. So many. These 5 steps. Again and again I'm telling there, damn sure throughout the JDBC, interviewer will ask only few questions, not all the questions. Throughout JDBC, interviewer will not ask the questions. First interviewer will ask the questions on core Java. Complete focus is going to put on core Java. In core Java also 5 topics mainly, 6 topics mainly. First one is object orientation, string manipulations, exception handling, multi-threading, collection framework, Java 8 features like lambda expressions, stream API. These are 5 or 6 topics from core Java. Once the core Java interview was completed, that means once core Java questions you have cleared, you have given there, immediately you want to switch to next technology. What is that next technology? JDBC. In JDBC, how interviewer is going to ask the questions? No, he will ask the questions only 2 to 3 questions only, but within the 2 to 3 questions is going to cover entire JDBC. Within 2 to 3 questions only is able to cover what their entire JDBC. Like this, one of the question in JDBC is what there? Tell me the steps to connect with the database from Java applications. Tell me the steps to prepare JDBC application. If he's asking this particular question there we have to repeat all the steps right from A to E. Again, I'm telling that don't give the first 3 steps. No, for completing the document point of view, I've given that. But we have to talk about only these steps to that interviewer. What are the 3 steps? What are the 5 steps? No, load and register the driver. Establish the connection between Java application and database. Create either statement or prepare statement or callable statement as per the requirement. Write and execute SQL queries. Close the resources like what there, statement, connection, and so on and so on and so on. But at each and every step, again, 2 to 3 questions are coming. Simple example, establish the connection between Java application and database. Connection is an interface in JDBC. How can you create an object for it? One question will come. Next, another one. In the third one, prepare either statement or prepared statement or callable statement. Tell me the difference between statement and prepared statement. Or tell me the differences between statement, prepared statement, and callable statement. Next one, write and execute SQL queries. To write and execute SQL queries, what methods you are going to use? 3 methods mainly we are going to use: execute query, execute update, and execute method. Tell me the differences between these 3 methods. What is the purpose of closing the resources? Is it mandatory to close the resources? No. If you are not closing that resources, then what will happen? See, this kind of questions might be interviewers will ask there. But within a single question is going to cover almost half of the JDBC. In that way, interviewers will ask the question. Okay, once JDBC questions are completed, 2 to 3 questions only. Don't expect the total content here. 2 to 3 questions, but solid questions. They're able to ask. Once the JDBC questions are completed, then they will switch to servlets. Again, in servlets, they will put more focus. Again, in servlets, they will put what there? More focus. Okay, in servlets also might be few topics, few questions are completed there. They are given right answers for all of them. See, understand it now. When you give completely right answers for core Java, then only we'll switch to JDBC. In JDBC also, if we give perfect answers, then only we'll switch to servlets. In the case in core Java, you are giving totally wrong answers. No, you will stop that interview there itself. Think about it. When interviewer is asking more number of questions, no, he's satisfying about your answers like that. That means he's getting somewhat good impression on you. Then only he's trying to ask the more number of questions. If interviewer is asking only 2 to 3 questions, he is completing interview in the sense it's a namesake interview only. Your performance is not good, or maybe they are not having any requirement to take the people. When interviewer is asking more number of questions, then feel happy for it and try to give more answers. The step by step I'm telling them. Okay. When servlets interviews are completed, then we'll switch to like what there JSP. In JSP again scope is very less, few questions only, 2 to 3 questions only. Once the JSP is completed, directly interviewer will go to Spring Framework. Spring Framework. In Spring Framework, there is a good scope, lot of scope is available to ask the questions now. Nowadays, If you are satisfying that interviewer in Spring also, then we will start to ask the questions on Spring Boot and microservices. But in the Spring framework, maybe ORM model is coming. There again, he's going to touch about what their Hibernate questions. When he's asking the questions on Spring ORM there, where Hibernate he has to touch, Hibernate questions he will ask that there, he will complete it. Or else if we provide separately Hibernate or JPA in our resume, definitely separately he's going to ask the questions on JPA or maybe Hibernate. Like this, Spring Web module. Very good scope is available, where annotations are available. Stereotype annotations are core module. In Spring core module, every topic is an important in the point of interview. In Spring core module is available, everything is important. Dependency injection concept is available. Containers topic is available. Like auto configurations are available. So many concepts are available. They're important. When we completed questions on Spring core module, then we will go to directly what there Spring AOP module. That is another important one. Transaction module. Next one is JDBC is okay. Again, one or two questions only on Spring JDBC. Comparisons may be JDBC template and named parameter JDBC template. What are the differences? Like this kind of things only. After that, directly we'll go to Spring Web module. In Spring Web module again, there is a scope. After that, we will go to what there Spring Boot. Then from Spring Boot onward, totally is going to touch about totally the next level questions. Spring Boot microservices there. Of course, if you complete the courses, they are not at all as a big deal. It's not a big deal to complete that interview. But once we have to complete the courses, no, easily we can answer for any type of question. While talking about Spring Boot, no, automatically is going to touch about what their web services, sidewise, RESTful services. Then after that, microservices completely. Along with microservices, if that interviewer is a good interviewer, he may go with what their DevOps related content. The mix up of Spring Boot applications with the DevOps code. Once he's trying to ask the questions on DevOps, no, definitely has to touch about like what their cloud. Definitely will take one cloud and be able to ask the questions. But don't think about it that all the technologies questions are going to be completed in a single interview. No, they will take multiple rounds. Java is one round. AWS is another round. DevOps is another round. Or in Java also, division, only core Java, advanced Java may be up to that one round. Remaining technologies are second round. Like this in multiple rounds, they are going to ask the questions. But as you're the full stack Java developer, you must be ready to give answers for any kind of content. Sir, all of you are following or not? But don't thinking too much about it now. Then these many technologies, when I'm going to learn, when I going to complete all these things, nothing else. By days goes on, definitely we are going to understand the content here. Say, don't worry. Then I'll make this JDBC is very much simple, very simple. Similar type of programming. After completion of 2 to 3 applications, no. Even before starting my program, automatically we are going to give the steps. So I will make you to understand the JDBC as an habituation, not like as a normal practice, as an habituation inside the classes. No need to practice even at your home there. First 2 to 3 programs you can practice. Next programs onwards, automatically we are going to get thoughts in our mind. In that way, habituation I'm going to provide inside the classes now. Right, sir. That's okay now. These are the concepts here we can understand now. All right, next one is what there, download and install database software that we have to do. But in my system already, I had some databases here. Oracle database and both MySQL database, both are available. I want to uninstall both the databases first. After that, I want to install like what there, the required database softwares now. That's now. Let me go for it now. If you want to uninstall it, then what we have to open there, control panel here, we have to take. Uninstall a program. Now, let me check it. Where is my database here? Observe carefully which database here I want to use now. Okay, first of all, let me uninstall it. Right, sir. Understand it. Most of the people are going to get problems while installation of the softwares only. But I'm trying to show that everything. Now try to understand it. Try to follow these steps. Just I'm doing that uninstallation process only. Let me download that Oracle database. Now let me show that. Of course, then today it is not the case. No, then tomorrow definitely I'm going to show that installation process. But most of the people are getting problem while installation of the Oracle database. Okay. Okay, it is using now. It's okay, no problem. And see, then anyway, then today just I will show what we have to download from internet there about this Oracle database. No, all right. Anyway, it's going to be uninstalled. Now let us understand the content here. What I'm trying to provide here. First of all, what database here we have to install? What database we have to download from internet? One more point I'm telling there. Oracle is what there? Is it licensed one or open source? That means freeware. Licensed one or freeware? Freeware, no? Oracle database is a freeware or licensed one? Don't expect any product from Oracle as a freeware. Of course, they are providing some trailer versions or maybe that sample versions only. That sample versions we are using in our applications. But strictly speaking, Oracle products, all the Oracle products are what they licensed one only. Even Java is also be licensed. You are not aware about it. Right from Java 11 version onwards, for corporate users, Java is licensed one. For the individual development, for teaching point of view, for knowledge transformation, for all these kind of things, Java is what there. It's a freeware. We can use that without having any licenses. No, but if you want to use the same thing in a companies, in the corporate environment, definitely you should take license if you want to use Java. Mandatory. So Oracle is also be like what there. Oracle is a licensed one, but they are giving some sample versions for us to see the taste of that Oracle. Even in the sample version, the complete Oracle is not coming. Only the basic Oracle only we are able to get. So got my point or not? All right, so now let me check this one. Oracle 21 Express Edition download. Let me go with the download option here. There I'm going to check it. Oracle database here I want to provide. Directly we are moving on to this one, no problem. Oracle Express Edition here we are getting. Okay. Before that, I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Not required to think about it. One point here I'm telling to you, Oracle database is available in two flavors. One is Express Edition, another one is an Enterprise Edition. Oracle 10G, Oracle 11G, Oracle 12C. Am I right or not? Oracle like what they're 14C and Oracle 18C, Oracle 21C. Like this, all the C or maybe G, these versions are available now. They are enterprise editions. They are the actual product of the Oracle. But along with this actual product now, Oracle has provided another lightweight versions for us for the sake of our simple utilization. That lightweight versions are what their express editions. Express edition is not available for every version of the Oracle. Only selected versions only express edition is available. So for example, Oracle 11XE. Oracle 11XE. Next one is what they offer this Oracle 11XE. Next one is Oracle 18XE is available. After this Oracle 18XE, next one is what they're 21XE. In the Express editions, 21XE is the latest version. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? All right. Then after this, now this is what we have to do. This here we have to download. Here we are getting some link or not for downloading that one. Now tell me what version here we have to select there. Or before that, just I want to show another point here. Oracle. Simply I want to go with what there. Oracle downloads. Just I want to provide Oracle download. Let me show some other content also. I want to know then what is the latest version here we are getting. Oracle Software Delivery Cloud. It's okay, fine. Download software, Oracle Software download software. Okay. 1 minute, 1 minute. Sign in. Is it? 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah, maybe. What is the latest version of the Oracle, guys? 20? 21 only. That 21C. So many things are available, not required for us. Leave it, not required. Guys. Just I want to go with what there. My required thing is what there. Oracle 21X, that's sufficient. We can use this. There we are able to open it. It's a lightweight, no need to take any license for this one. Just directly we are able to get it. Database, 1 minute. Alright, sir. Directly here we are able to have the link. No, Oracle Database 21C, expression for Windows 64. My operating system is Windows operating system, and 21, that means 64-bit operating system only, so that is available. So I have to select this one. Okay. Then here, if you want to go for some other versions here, there we are able to have what there? Another versions also. Pre-release archive. Pre-release archive, if we click there, older versions there, we are able to get. Understand my point clearly? No? Right. As of now, here I required what there? This particular one. Click on this link here. If you click on this link now, in general, it is asking about that authentication, username and password. But just now I entered that username and password, and that's what directly it is downloading. Otherwise, it's asking about username and password. If you have already Oracle account, then we can enter that username and password. If you don't have any Oracle account there, then create an Oracle account. Why? Because Oracle account is required nowadays. Why? Because then we are not going to complete this utilization of Oracle website with only today or tomorrow. Throughout our life, we have to use that Oracle website, and we have to download number of resources from the Oracle website. So one time try to create that Oracle account. Then we can utilize the same thing even for number of times. Even nowadays, if you want to download Java versions now, then again we have to provide what their username and password in Oracle account. So because of that reason, prepare one time that Oracle account here. Anyway, sir, it may take some time here. 1.8 GB has to be downloaded here. So we can understand it. This link here we have to download. Everybody has to download this link. Is that good or not? Everybody, even though you're having, if you are having Oracle XE, that means if you are having Oracle Enterprise Edition in our system, don't disturb it. We can use the same thing. If you are not having Oracle database in our system, then only we can download this. Sir, all of you are getting it or not? Already, if you are having Oracle database in our system, don't disturb that. Don't uninstall it. Don't again install the another version. We can utilize the same thing. I will show how to work with that Enterprise Edition also. How we are going to utilize that Enterprise Edition also, we are going to work with that. Don't disturb, don't uninstall that, and don't trying to install newer version here. But if you are not having Oracle database in our system, then we can download this particular content. Is that clear? Right, sir. Then anyway, then installation process. It's going to be downloaded here. Installation process I'm going to show on tomorrow. Don't miss the tomorrow's class there. Tomorrow I will show that installation process. After completion of this, directly I'll move on to the JDBC code, JDBC steps directly. Right, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow. Yeah, Kirti, maybe MySQL we can check it, no? MySQL database also we are going to use, definitely. Not only this, then MySQL also we are able to use. Yeah, I will show both of them, don't worry. Yeah, hibernate is going in at morning 6 a.m. Yeah, schedule is available like this, you can understand it now. Okay. 19C, okay, no issues. You can use this 19C. No need to uninstall it. Try to use the same 19C. 19C, it's okay. Good. Hmm. లేదు టైప్ 4 డ్రైవ్ నడుస్తుంది అక్కడ కూడా మీకు అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్లో అయినా సరే అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ లేకుండా టైప్ 3కి మ్యాండేటరీ అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ కంపల్సరీ కావాలి టైప్ 3 డ్రైవర్కి. కానీ టైప్ 4 డ్రైవర్కి అసలు అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ ఉన్నా సరే లేకపోయినా సరే ఎక్కడైనా నడుస్తుంది. టైప్ 3 అవసరం లేదు మనకి. అది అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ కదా, సర్వర్ సైడ్ అప్లికేషన్ అది యూజ్ చేసినా సరే టైప్ 3 మ్యాండేటరీ ఏం కాదు, టైప్ 4 ఇచ్చేయచ్చు. టైప్ 4 అన్ని ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్లో నడుస్తుంది, లైట్ వెయిట్ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం. అందుకని మనం టైప్ 3 జోలికి వెళ్ళాం మాక్సిమం. మీరు టామ్ కేట్ సర్వర్ అంటే ఇంకా టైప్ 3కి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నారు, అట్లేం లేదు. సరే ఆ పెగడ్ టూల్ ఎట్లా డిజైన్ చేసినారో ఐడియా లేదు, అంటే పెగడ్ టూల్కి ఇంటర్నల్గా మేబీ అయితే టామ్ కేట్ సర్వర్ అవసరం అయిందేమో, నాకు ఐడియా లేదు యాక్చువల్గా దాని కాంటెంట్. కానీ జనరల్గా మనం ఏదైనా ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ ప్రిపేర్ చేసినాను, నా వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ పాసిబిలిటీస్ ఏంటి, టైప్ 3 టైప్ 4 ఇచ్చేయచ్చు. టైప్ 3 చేసానంటే నాకు సర్వర్ సైడ్ ఎన్విరాన్మెంట్ ఉండాలి, ఆ సర్వర్లో మిడిల్ వేర్ కాంపోనెంట్ కంపాటబుల్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ ఉండాలి, నాకు కావాల్సిన డేటాబేస్కి రిలేటెడ్ కాంపోనెంట్స్ అని జనరల్ బై డిఫాల్ట్ అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ ఇస్తారు. వాటిని కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసేసి నేను ఏం చేస్తానంటే త్రూ కనెక్షన్ పూలింగ్ లేకపోతే వితౌట్ కనెక్షన్ పూలింగ్ నేను డేటాబేస్ ఇంటరాక్ట్ అవుతాను, అంతవరకు ఓకే. కానీ అట్ ద సేమ్ టైం ఈ కాన్ఫిగరేషన్స్ కానీ టైప్ 3 ఏం యూజ్ చేయకుండా టైప్ 4 డ్రైవర్ సింపుల్గా యూజ్ చేసి మనం పెట్టేసి మ్యాటర్ ఆఫ్ యాడింగ్ వన్ జార్ ఫైల్. అర్థమైంది కదా, టైప్ 3 అనేది మ్యాండేటరీ కదా, అప్పుడు ఈవెన్ అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ ఉన్నా లేకపోయినా టైప్ 4 డ్రైవర్ యూజ్ చేసే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది, కాబట్టి నేను అప్లికేషన్ సర్వర్ సైడ్ అప్లికేషన్స్ లో కూడా ఐ కెన్ యూస్ టైప్ 4 డ్రైవర్. when compared with the type 3 driver, type 4 driver is more performance definitely, అందుకని అందరూ జనరల్ గా టైప్ 4 డ్రైవర్ యూజ్ చేస్తుంటారు. ఓకే ఓకే. Anyway, then every class recordings are provided there for everybody. Yeah, every class videos are provided for everybody. Just within 1 hour of after completion of class, that video will be uploaded. Everything. Notes I will give that link. I think a link we have not taken it. No, not like this. Just I prepared one link permanently. Just so you can use that link. There we can see the notes, everyday notes. Directly, if I type the notes, no, directly it is, I used to type the notes in the same part. I think it's not available here. Fine. Yeah, no issues. Then even most of the people are used to join here, but after a few days, because of their work, they are not attending the sessions. No? Yeah. We are providing video support. No? Yeah, there itself, there it's close the matter. When the batch is completing, then automatically that everything is going to be closed. Yeah, there might be videos are not provided for everybody. Yeah. Now we are providing video support because of these reasons only. Then people are discontinuing the class in the middle. That's why then to complete their courses, no, we are giving that video support now. Anyway, that link I will give in tomorrow maximum. I think I created that, but where it is available, I don't know. Then I'll give that link tomorrow. Don't worry. Okay, thank you. Do one thing. Go to the same location, app data, roaming, same location is there, no? There we can remove this file, whatever the file is showing, remove it. Then run the program. You'll get it. Right now, the remaining part is we have to uninstall the Java program, Java software. Again, install it. That only the option get. There is internal content there. Yes. Okay, then do that. Run. 1 minute. Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah, Jyotishwar. Then don't worry. Then better to use like what there MySQL. Okay, MySQL database. Then if it is not working with Oracle, then we can use MySQL so that we will finish it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll see the remaining steps. Fine. Thank you.